really like the sketching phase because it really puts my mindset inside of the world of the project that I'm working on. And the more time I spent on initial sketches, the more I feel I can speak more fluently in the language of a certain aesthetic that I'm going for. My name is Magdalena Katanska and I'm a concept artist and illustrator, and I was responsible for the artwork of Baldur's Gate 3 original soundtrack vinyl release. When I was preparing for this project, I was going through a lot of references, and the thing that I knew was that I would love this whole album to feel like it's actually a magical object, something that you could find while roaming through Baldur's Gate. My main references actually were medieval grimoires. What I realized was that on the covers there's usually a central piece and a symmetrical composition, so I thought it would be great to use it myself. I think that symmetry is a great tool in art, especially in fantasy art when you want to communicate something very epic and magical and just larger than life. I decided that I would like to have the astral prism as the centerpiece, because it's also the kind of centerpiece for our story in Baldur's Gate 3. In my everyday work, I specialize in creatures, so it was very easy for me to make this decision that the astral prism would be surrounded by 4 creatures that are firstly iconic for Dungeons and Dragons, but also they had to be the creatures that you can encounter in the world of Baldur's Gate 3. That's how I decided to go with a red dragon, the Displacer Beast, the Beholder, and the Owlbear. I tried to keep this symmetry idea in mind for the entire project. So on the inside of the standard version, we have the illustration that is divided, and on one side we have the 6 origin characters, and on the other side we have the villains of the story. For the deluxe version, we have something a little bit more special. Inside we have 6 different illustrations for 6 origin characters. I really like the concept of duality that we can see a lot in Baldur's Gate 3. For example, we have Astarion, who is this nonchalant, sarcastic and very sure of himself person, but inside he hides this traumatized, broken man. Karlach, who on one hand is this happy-go-lucky, gentle giantess, but on the other side she also hides anguish and fear about her own future. This duality thing can be said about every character from the main cast, so that was something that inspired me to make those illustrations. I was always greatly inspired by the classic fantasy artists, the works of John Howe, of Alan Lee, Ted Naismith, also artists of Dungeons and Dragons like Larry Elmore or Todd Lockwood were very important for me, especially growing up when I was just developing my tastes and my ideas on where would I like my art journey to go. I remember my brother used to have this D&D player's handbook and a monster manual. I remember just going through the pages and being absolutely stunned by the illustrations inside. And there was one in particular, and I believe it was a chart of some sort, like a size chart of different characters. So there was a cat, a human, a troll, and of course the biggest one was a dragon. And I remember looking at this dragon and thinking to myself, yes, this is it. I want to be able to do that. Working on this project was a great journey, and working closely with Joachim Lemmings and the team at Larian, I am super happy that my art will be the one to illustrate the beautiful music of Borislav Slavov.